Bolt Bros in the house. Let's go.
Bros, let's go.
Guys, we got football now.
Right.
Look at it now. The season has started. The rookies have came to the building. They are in the building. Vets are going to be in the building next week. 2025 season's here. And
yes, sir.
Time coming, boys. So I am excited about it.
It's going to be good. A lot to talk about, too. I think it's interesting because this is the time of year where there's not a ton to talk about. There's plenty to talk about this week, which is kind of nice. Last week, guys, and I apologize, we missed our live episode. Yeah. We almost had nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
I was sick. James was hanging out with the Hill people. Kyle was doing some didgeridoo lessons somewhere. I don't even know what he was doing. He's trying to, didgeridoos.
Hey. Oh yeah.
Studying for a test, so he was out doing his thing. And Kyle passed, so very excited about that.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Right.
Kyle passed his test. He's Series 7. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. He about to become a millionaire. Very exciting. Very exciting.
Right. Be the wolf of the Bolt Bros. Yeah.
That's right. It's gonna be good stuff.
Yeah.
So good. But once again, training camp has now started, guys, and this is the big thing too. Next weekend is the first weekend where the public could basically get into there and see the players first time on field this season. Great stuff, but there's so many storylines going into this.
It's pretty exciting.
Camp. Yeah. And that's what's exciting. That's what we're going to talk a lot about too. And obviously, if you know the thumbnail that we put out there and the title of this video, you know one of the subjects that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk quite a bit about it. So,
all right, guys, plenty to get into.
Let's get it.
Bolt Bros,
let's go.
What's up, Pyramid, man? You watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Bolt Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
It's actually funny. It's like I think the intro is the only time that we have been in sync saying "Bolt Bros, let's go."
Terrible. Yeah,
because I had to line it up intentionally. So
yeah.
It's kind of tough. To get it all figured out half the time.
No doubt. But
you guys know what time it is. No big deal.
That's right.
It's time for some football, dude. It's time for some football. We can't wait, man. We can't wait. But just to throw this slide out here real quick, guys. This is what we need, man. Inject that NFL in my veins. Let's go. We're ready. And it's great to be able to see that this is the season start for the Chargers. The Lions are actually the second team that will be coming together next week. The rookies are going to be in on the 16th, so they're 3 days away till their camp starts.
Yeah.
The Chargers are starting out early. I think Harbaugh wants people in working right now. So great to see it, but NFL season is here, and I cannot wait to basically see. I'm kind of excited about some preseason games for some weird reason. Yeah. So,
well, we got a lot of rookies to evaluate too. Right?
I just need
how are these
give it to me
out during these preseason games? So that's the conversation.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. There's a lot of rookies and a lot of positions within this team that need to get situated before the start of the season. So to have that fourth game is not a bad thing. And we're going to talk about some of the stories that are being led into this camp. And there's a lot of crazy stories. And to be honest, heavy on the offense, to be honest, at this moment. So kind of interesting to see. So, but we need some NFL right now, guys. We need some NFL right now, man. We can't wait.
Yes.
Can't wait. But move on just a little bit to the next slide here. Andrew wanted to add this one. I threw it up on my personal Instagram earlier this week, but I think this is pretty funny. It's like her, I bet he's thinking about other women, and then him, I wonder how much money I'm going to end up spending on these new Chargers alternate jerseys and apparel. No doubt.
Yep.
And it's funny, when I posted this, I posted this, and then my wife answered and said, "You better not. You better not."
Yeah,
it's pretty funny. I mean, the alternate is me thinking about other women, which I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
I mean, we good.
I mean, yeah, but
definitely
alternate is going to be fire. They're going to be fire.
can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
It's gonna be nice and clean, man. Sheesh.
Yeah, and that's going to be Wednesday that they're going to announce that, I believe, just before the opening of training camp for the fans. So I would imagine if the Chargers want to capitalize on excitement in these new jerseys, I guarantee they're going to have them on site in the little Chargers store too.
Yeah.
Ready to be purchased. So,
and speaking of on that, for training camp, there is a pop-up at the Chargers store in El Segundo, 15% off for season ticket holders.
Oh, love it.
Oh, really?
Love it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right down there on El Segundo Boulevard, right near the Bolt. So
right around the corner. Yeah.
Right around the corner. So that's going to be good. And they'll probably have that open also too. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some at the camp, and then obviously they'll have some at the store. So, which is great. Great. So
yeah. And we're going to be there, not this weekend. The second weekend is when we're planning on being there for training camp. So yeah, I'm in Arizona right now. We got family reunion going on. It's going to be crazy all this next week, but the week after that, we should be able to be out there in California. It's going to be a good time. So definitely come say what's up to those guys for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And I think, Kyle, you're talking about the last week of training camp that you might be there going into that preseason game. I think I will be there for the last preseason open practice during that week because I will be in Orange County just for some work stuff. So
cool.
So I'll be able to head up there for that day at least and then fly back home. So
yeah, sounds good. That's
so
awesome.
It's going to be good. Can't wait, man. I just love going out to the training camps, meeting up with the fans, get hyped, get ready for the season, man. And it's a great time to engage fans out there. So it's super fun. So,
and guys, if you do see us, please come up and say hello to us for sure.
Yes.
Again, whole reason why we did this channel is to engage with, Charger fans and have conversations about football. So that's why we do this, guys. So, if you see us, come say hi. Don't be shy.
And by the way,
don't be shy.
By the way, week 1 training camps have already gone out. It was on the 7th that they gave out those tickets on Chargers.com. They are sold out, but you could also go through a lot of fan clubs or Facebook pages or anything like that, people giving away tickets. Week 2 will be giving out tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST, I believe.
Yeah.
Go on Chargers.
We better hop on that.
Yep.
Yeah, you better get up on that, boy.
Absolutely. So we'll be on that, guys. So we can't wait to be able to be there with you guys. So speaking of alternate jerseys, I mean, this is the one that I'm going to hope happens to be the alternate jersey because I think it'd be real dope. Now, I don't think Kyle thinks I don't think he's too into it because I think there's other ones that are out there that they're all about. To me, I'm going to die on that hill that if this one happens, you are going to get some money from me for sure. You are getting money. 100% from me, but this would be the jersey I feel would be absolutely stellar. Just clean white top to bottom with gold lettering. Oh my gosh. If you threw a gold, just like the Saints right here, where they got the gold around the grill. Woo! Wee! That would be incredible if that was to be that way. Put gold on that helmet with that white and gold. It would be one of the perfect jerseys in the NFL, in my opinion. So
it would be pretty sick. That's a pretty sick alternate jersey, and it's very different than the other jerseys. Remember, whole reason why we're doing this is to sell more jerseys and make more
100%.
money. You guys ever watch Spaceballs? Marketing.
The search for more money.
Search for more money.
Isn't that the name of the second one that's coming out too? Because didn't they call it the search for more money?
I'm not sure.
Probably.
That would be hilarious.
It's all about marketing. Marketing.
Merchandise.
Spaceballs, the flamethrower. Spaceballs, the lunchbox.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a thumbs down.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
nope.
Oh.
What do you guys
exactly, Miguel. It's like we're not the Saint Chargers, the New Orleans Chargers. We ain't that note. So this ain't. Yes, it looks cool, but it's like a 90% chance, or more that it's not going to be that.
Well, the other thought is you could just make it baby blue, right? Just make it all baby blue. So the baby blue.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like the iced out one where it's like baby blue bolts and outline letters and stuff like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool though. But here's the thing. Again, it's the NFL can make a lot more money, And that's what they want to do, right? So that's why in fact, I don't even understand why all teams don't have an alternate jersey as well, too. I don't know why they don't do that and have a throwback jersey because it makes no sense. Like, if you're there to sell jerseys, then just make the throwbacks more available. And I don't know. To me, hey, it's about making money. It's what it's all about.
No doubt.
Yep.
No doubt. Making that money. Making that money.
Man, I think what's really funny is the Browns helmet there on the top. It's like they really didn't change much. They just kind of made it white.
Made it white.
And had a brown stripe. So they got racing stripes. So like they even more poop references there, you know. So yeah,
I was gonna say you got racing stripe just like your underwear, Kyle.
Nah, man.
Ooh, you got burned, son.
You a fool. I think you're speaking from experience. That's what you're speaking
for real?
from. Yes,
okay,
right.
All right.
Yeah.
Old skid marks over here, dude. Skid marks,
Yeah.
dude.
I got speed, baby. I got speed. That's what I do.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. And then going to the other alternate jersey that everybody's speculating, which I threw out there shortly, is kind of this era. What is it, the 93 to 2001 era, 2002 era, I believe it is. This is the one that's been the speculation for a while. Obviously, they've leaked a little bit of the helmet in some photos, kind of secretly put in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, I know other people talked a lot more about the early 80s or late 70s, early 80s type jerseys too. There's a lot of different things out there, but we will know what it is on, I believe, Wednesday of this week 15. Coming up. So that will be exciting to be able to see what it's about. If it's those white and gold jerseys, I am going to give you my money immediately. Thank you very much.
Nice.
So,
but here's the thing. I'm just saying that this is a great throwback. The 100%. Redskins have a throwback uniform, right? You know, well, they're not called the Redskins anymore, they're called the Commanders, but they're coming back with the Redskins jersey. And I'm like, why doesn't every team just have a throwback game?
Yep.
And
they should.
I'm telling you, like that jersey right there is fire with the navy pants. Oh man, I love that combination. That was just so sick to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And that's the era that we last went to a Super Bowl. So maybe it's a good thing to go back to it so we could go to another dang Super Bowl and hopefully win one this time.
That's
right.
Super Bowl
would be great.
Yeah.
Super Bowl time, baby.
Super Bowl time.
Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, like the odds are that it's likely going to be this one, you know, like just because of like the helmet, because we're going to get an alternate. We already have the white helmet. Everyone else wants to have a white helmet. So we need the dark helmet, you know? So, you know, another Spaceballs reference there, you know, what is this? You know, so,
dark helmet.
Spaceballs episode here.
Yeah. Right.
Great. And by the way, shout out to Rodney Harrison getting into the Chargers Hall of Fame, which is definitely one that has been well overdue. So cool to see that Harbaugh reached out to him.
That's right.
Rodney Harrison was incredible,
very cool.
He was such a great player. So
after this, then we need to get Anthony Miller up in the Chargers Hall of Fame as well, man.
Make it happen, dude. Make it happen, dude. That would be great. That would be great. So moving on from the alternate jerseys and the ideas of what it is. I mean, there's been a million different mocks from the fans on that. Be awesome to be able to see finally what it is. But as of next weekend, there is a High Voltage Live meetup, basically at 7 p.m. So it's after the practice on Saturday at Sauce, which is just right around the corner from the Bolt. Get some barbecue out there, hang out with some fans, have a good time with them and everything too. So
yes, sir.
It's a training camp lightning rally, dude. So good times, man, for sure, to be able to be out there with the Bolt Pride and the Los Angeles Bolts. What is it? The Los Angeles Huntington Bolts or something like that?
Well, it's High Voltage Live is
High Voltage, High Voltage.
The group that they kind of like put it together, you know. So
That's
yeah,
right.
But yes, it's Southern Cali Thunder Alley, Bolt Pride, and then the Long Beach group there. Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be a good time, man. That'll be a great time to be at. And then the following weekend, speaking of Anthony Miller, he will be a special guest.
Let's go.
After the Saturday practice, which ends at, I believe, 7, and then this starts at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., which is not too far away from the Bolt, just kind of in the downtown El Segundo area too. Gonna have some Peruvian food, so I will definitely give me some lomo.
Peruvian, cannot go wrong with that.
Yep. And photo booths with Charger props, all this kind of stuff. So it'll be a real good time for that one too. And that's the weekend. That's Saturday practice will be, welcome back type all the fans event. So it'll be a really, really big event all around. So I'm excited about that one. That will be good. So Andrew and I will be at that practice. So that'll be a good time. So
yeah, we'll be there for sure.
But good stuff, man.
You guys should try and do a little quick interview with Anthony Miller again too, you know? So
yeah, I think that's a good idea. We'll make that happen.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, we'll hit him up and we'll see what he can do with us. So that'd be great. Great to be able to catch up with him, man. So training camp. There's a lot to talk about in this training camp, guys. I mean, there's a lot of little interesting tidbits that have already started right from the get-go, which has actually been lingering. And I think a lot of people have not talked a lot about too. The one that is, about Tre Harris and the situation there. That whole situation gets pretty dicey and it could get really interesting real quick.
It's crazy to me because like I swear I went to OTC and like in over the cap and like it said that he had a contract in line, like he was getting paid like $800,000 a year or something like that, but I guess not. Like I mean, I was like, okay, I guess he got that one went under the radar to me, so. But no, I guess he never signed. I'm like, what? Crap.
Yeah, and I think those numbers in OTC, over the cap, those are just kind of like placeholder type numbers. Yeah. It's not real true numbers.
Oh, you got it. Yes.
He's supposed to get roughly about, give or take, it probably be in the $8 to $9 million total contract type situation.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And so what it really boils down to, if you see the screenshot here, pretty much 30 of the 32 second round picks unsigned because of disagreement over guaranteed money. Tre Harris makes the first official stand. The second round pick that could make a stand is Tate Ratledge, the guy with the mullet, offensive guard. And they've been talking about putting him as center sometimes too with the Lions, who is going to be reporting on the 16th. It'd be interesting to see if that leads into that point. Now, I'm not too worried about Tre Harris not really doing much right now. I don't think that there's like a lot of on-field activities at this point with the rookies. I think they're just trying to get them all prepped, ready to go for the season kind of thing. Maybe equipment, all these different things. But if Tate Ratledge holds out, things are going to start unraveling at this point.
Yeah.
And,
well, you got to remember, it's really all about guaranteed money, right? The problem is first-round picks get a lot more guaranteed money. Now it's just the argument around the second-round picks. How much guaranteed money are they going to be getting? And look, it's just like them jerseys, right? The search for more money, and that's where it's all at. I mean, and unfortunately, guys, this is the business part of the NFL. Here's the thing: he's not even going to be. I don't even think he's going to be fined. I was just reading this article.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he won't be fined at all. So he loses nothing by not coming. He's already been to the rookie camp, so it's not that big of a deal, to be honest.
I mean, he can lose something if he doesn't show up. He can lose the job. I mean, they drafted him at second round or whatever, and that's great, but since he didn't sign, like it's not guaranteed, unless he puts that pen onto the paper, he's they can let him walk. And that's actually the biggest thing is like, look, yeah, you can hold out, but you haven't proven anything to the league, to the fans, to anyone, like we can let you walk. It's fine. You've seen how deep our wide receiver room is. Take a hike then, it's like, I hate this kind of like holdout type of situation. Like they're second round picks and they want to get all 100% guaranteed money. This is just stupid. I mean, I get it for the first round, but like for second rounders, this just rubs me the wrong way. So
yeah, well, I think what you don't understand though, Kyle, is that unfortunately it's sort of like it's dominoes, right? So people ahead of him, once those numbers get set, then it'll drop through. So
right,
he's not the bad guy. It's just the fact that unfortunately people ahead of him have not signed, so the dollars cannot be fully. Because basically, if the guy before him gets $1.5 million guaranteed each year, he's going to get $1.35 million per year, right? So it's going to go down
increments.
So it'll fall in line at that point, right? So
no, I understand that, but he's number 53,
55.
50 or 55 or whatever. Yeah. So, and number 54 is not holding out right now.
Well,
he is.
He will be probably if the way the dominoes continue.
Yeah,
that's where I'm saying with the whole Tate Ratledge. If Tate Ratledge holds out, then the dominoes are basically going.
So typically second round always hold out. So it's very common for this to happen. So this isn't like unusual. but every year is a little bit different because you got to remember, again, it's like dominoes. As soon as the people ahead of them get signed and get their guaranteed money, it just goes down the line.
Yep.
After the third round, it's like, whatever, just get what we're going to offer you. And it's kind of a crapshoot. So
right.
They're just, again, these are agents trying to get the most money for themselves and the players. That's all it is. And they might even be adding little trade clauses. I don't want to play for the Jets, or I don't want to play for the whomever, or I have a trade clause, I have to approve or whatever. So these are the things that are kind of in the negotiation phase.
Right.
Yeah.
And as in what the two players that have signed already, it was Carson Schwarzenegger, who signed a 4-year, fully guaranteed $11.8 million contract.
Yeah, that throws a big
everything off. And then immediately after that, Jaden Higgins signed with the Texans for basically $100,000 difference of $11,700 or $11.7 million 4-year contract. Right. So it's very uncommon to have guaranteed second round contracts.
Yes.
In some of the articles that you get and knowing how the second round picks generally work, basically you get kind of a percentage. So it's like 80%, 70%. It keeps dropping based upon wherever you get picked. Tre Harris is only supposed to get about 60% of his contract guaranteed at this point.
Yes.
Right.
Omarion Hampton got his contract fully guaranteed. He's a first round pick kind of guy, second running back, So Tre Harris, obviously, to Kyle's point, yes, he could lose his job. Most teams are not going to let their second round picks walk or anything like that. Yeah, that's a very extreme case if that ever happens. But once again, the thing is, though, they're just trying to make this battle or cross this line that, hey, we need to get guaranteed based contracts because 2 other guys got their contracts guaranteed. Correct. Now, the player that's basically throwing things off right now, as of yesterday, Quinshon Judkins. Gosh, I don't know why that did not come out.
Quinshon Judkins.
Yikes.
Say that name 10 times fast. Quinshon Judkins.
He got arrested for assault and battery.
Yeah.
And he is a second round pick. He was actually, I think, picked 35 or 36. Now that really throws things off because now there is already an issue before a guy has signed contract. I guarantee that's where the domino will fall and break at that point.
Yep.
Now, the Browns are basically notorious for not having the best draft at all. Now they basically got 2 guys that have basically been knuckleheads going into camp now with, Quinshon and then also with Shadir Sanders and him doing this thing. So they've already got 2 issues on their 5 picks, basically. That is not good. That is bad numbers to basically get going into.
Clearly, a team you don't want to go to, right? And it's
clearly there's some anger issues to being on that team. Yes, there's some mental health situations. Yeah,
it's not good. So basically, the whole thing with that, I think Judkins will basically be the one that makes the domino stop at that point.
Correct.
And then it's going to be whatever maybe he'll get versus 60% what he should be getting. Tre Harris, that is, of guaranteed money. Maybe he's going to get, maybe it's going to be a small bump of 10% more or something like that. Like, who knows? But that's something that's going to probably break the whole cycle at that point. Yes. And, once again, these, if you go back to kind of that, and I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to those collusion things with NFL player or NFL owners and contracts and all these different things, and that conversation that the Spanos had with the Bidwells with the Kyler Murray contract, and how they talked a lot about like, oh man, Bidwell said, we're glad that we signed basically Kyler Murray. Just going to give you a basic quick notes or quick version of the story. Bidwell's basically said, yeah, glad that we got him signed and everything like that. It wasn't a fully guaranteed contract because that's when the whole situation was happening with like Watson and Cousins with these fully guaranteed quarterback contracts. And then the Spano said, yeah, we got to sign our guy too. Glad it's not going to be something that's going to be a fully guaranteed type situation.
Yeah.
And so owners don't want fully guaranteed contracts. Like they do not want to feel like they have to give this guy $200 million or whatever it is. They want to basically have that room for them to basically earn something, which makes sense. In my opinion, it makes a ton of sense. Perfect example of the Deshaun Watson contract. That didn't go well. That is a terrible, terrible contract. One of the worst assigned in the NFL. Once again, it's the Browns again, making a bad decision. So anyways,
well, I feel like
it sorted out pretty quickly, but keep an eye on Tate Ratledge if he's going to appear on the 16th for the rookie training camp for the Lions.
Yeah,
I feel like when it comes to the playing for the Browns, I think players demand a lot of money because they know that it's like a cursed team. You know, they haven't
Yeah.
they haven't done anything with their entire franchise. Like they've had great players show up there, of course, but you know, like their team is just cursed 1,000%.
100%.
They're so close to the Hall of Fame, but they're never going to be there. You know.
And it's beyond me that Myles Garrett still just took all the money, even though he said, "I want to win a Super Bowl."
Yeah. It's like,
okay, buddy.
Here's
all right.
Speak louder than words on that situation, dude.
Yeah.
And I think that says a lot more, right? Because you know, he clearly just wanted his bag. He got his money.
Yeah.
But he's on a team that's not going to go anywhere, right? Yeah. So whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, look, I wouldn't worry about Tre Harris at this point. It'll get sorted out, you know. But the big question though is this too: is how much money guarantees does he want? But secondarily, we know we got to pay Rashawn Slater. Rashawn Slater is also going to be out there. How much is he going to get paid? What's his guaranteed dollars? And again, there's even some other players who might even go after as well too, right? I mean, people keep talking about Scary Terry. That might, you know, the Chargers could get a landing spot for him. Kind of doubt that, but you know,
hey, I mean that could be a thing too. Is like if they let Tre Harris walk, then well, there you go. Just go.
So they're not going to let Tre Harris walk. That's not going to happen. He's not walking.
No.
He's not going to walk.
You never know, man. It could be the first thing that happened in history.
Anywhere, dude. He's not going anywhere. At the end of the day, they're going to sort it out. But the problem is, you know, it's a guaranteed dollar. They're probably fighting over a little bit of money. It's not that much.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and once again, his total contract will probably end up being at tops $9 million. That's peanuts in general to like having a guy for 4 years. So it's not like the thing about it is the owners are basically just putting their foot in the ground and saying, look, man, second round doesn't deserve to have every single person guaranteed. Because what does that do? Well, then now the third round guys are going to say, hey, now I need my guaranteed contracts, like kind of thing. So it becomes a constant guaranteed contract from round to round to round. They don't want that. So, I mean, ultimately, that's where it's at. This is where that argument goes. If the full second round gets it, then the third round's going to ask it next year. That's all it is. So they don't want that cycle to continue.
Exactly.
So but then here goes. Miguel asked the big question. So when should we be concerned that this contract is not maybe going through or like this holdout is actually happening?
I don't think that he should necessarily be concerned until probably into second week of camp, I think is probably my thoughts. I think if it starts getting into the second weekend-ish, that's probably where you should get concerned. The concerning initial red alert would be, once again, if Tate Ratledge doesn't show up next Wednesday. Now, the next week after that is when a lot of the other teams or camps and rookies are starting to show up. Then if it starts seeing that all these second round picks are not getting signed and they're holding out, then that's big red alert at that point. Big red alert.
Right now, it's not required for him to be there. He's not going to get fined or anything. So he loses nothing by showing up.
Nothing.
So, you know, there's no reason. I mean, yeah, you might say, well, he should be there. Okay. But he doesn't really need to be. I guess that's my point, right?
Yep.
So
100%. And to speak a little bit, and you guys talked about it too. Obviously, we got our wide receivers here in the room. You know, Quentin Johnston to, you know, obviously Ladidi McConkey. He's an absolute stud. We got our number one with Ladd in second round. Now, my hopes is that Tre Harris could be the second coming of Ladd in the second round again for us. Yeah, that would be phenomenal to be able to see that. But we also got Mike Will out there. You know, if we get Tre Harris in there, we have a pretty good set of wide receivers there. Now, if you watch Chargers Weekly, apparently Sanjay Lal said that Quentin Johnston is going to be wide receiver 2. You know, if you go and talk a little bit with our guy Daniel Popper, he thinks that Quentin Johnston should be wide receiver 4. Now, what does that mean now with the whole Terry McLaurin talk about him wanting a contract too? You know, okay, let's say we do put Quentin Johnston at wide receiver 4. Do you feel like, well, would he be trade bait at that point? Because then you could say, hey, look, what if you trade him off to Washington, who only really has Deebo Samuel as a number 1 outside of Terry McLaurin? Yeah. You throw him with a couple picks, and then you get Terry McLaurin. Now we got a really, really stellar set of wide receivers to work with. Now, that's just my speculation, hot take on that. But
but it could happen too, right? I mean, Quentin has all the talent. No, there's no doubt about that.
No doubt about it.
I think that, but here's the thing. He also doesn't have a Justin Herbert on other teams. Justin Herbert is an extremely accurate quarterback, right? Every has ever watched him throw the ball is like, bro, this guy is on the money every single throw. And so now you might argue he throws a heavy ball, right? He gasses it. I mean, he gasses those wide receivers. So, if you don't have good, strong hands, you're not going to catch the ball, but it's at least going to be accurate. I would just say this too. There's going to be arguments around how many starters we're going to have for the wide receiver room. I think 6 is probably the max. I don't think we have 7. Someone said we had 7 last year. I don't only remember us running 6. But
I think there was a couple on practice squad, if that's what they're counting.
But practice squad, I don't count that as a 53-man roster.
Yeah, 53,
But 6 makes sense to me. But here's the thing. Look at Arondé Gatson right there, 86. He's a wide receiver. Yeah, I don't look at him as. I mean, he's a blocking.
Oh no, he's a wide end.
Yeah, he's a wide end. There we go. Yeah, but to me, he's a wide receiver as well. So and one of the things I thought about, I was watching I can't remember who it was, some YouTuber. He's talking about how we run play action. We ran play action more than any other team. The only reason why we didn't do well in play action as well is because we were running 13, which is basically 1 running back, 3 tight ends. And so we ran 13 a lot last year. Well, we'll run 13. Arondé Gatson's going to be out there a lot. Tyler Conklin's going to be out there a lot. Will Diss is going to be out there a lot. So my argument is you don't need a lot of damn wide receivers if you're running a lot of 13. You need more tight ends than you do wide receivers. So I'm just saying it's going to be very interesting to see how many wide receivers we run. I don't know. I just think it's going to be very fascinating. And again, the whole point of the play action is, okay, you're lining up like you're going to run the ball. Oops, nope, fake, throw it deep, and the routes are going to be pretty basic. You're just trying to get the safeties to bite down. So anyways, I think it's going to be interesting.
And the interesting thing about the wide receivers, talk about the other wide receiver we drafted, KeAndre Lambert-Smith.
Yeah, who hasn't been out there at all.
Who hasn't been out there at all in this offseason.
Mike Williams hasn't been either.
Say that one more time.
Mike Williams hasn't been either. He's still pretty much banged up.
Exactly. So it is an interesting thing where the whole Tre Harris situation is going on there. You really want to see this guy in there. You definitely, and whatever it is, they got to get it worked out with whatever contract situation. Now, I think it's really going to go into next week. That's something going to happen about this situation. But KeAndre Lambert-Smith might have a door opening a little bit for him to really try to put a little bit more opportunity to where he could find a way in the 53-man squad. Now, go back to like Darius Davis. KeAndre Lambert-Smith is a very, very fast wide receiver. Darius Davis, fast wide receiver, small body though too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there is going to be a battle for that one position of whatever or Darius Davis with KLS, because I think KLS could be a guy that could potentially be a punt returner, kick returner for us too. I'm expecting that in training camp for him to get some of those reps. We'll see. That's something that I'm going to keep an eye on too. So it is going to be interesting. The wide receiver group is going to be an interesting group to keep an eye on. How many are we going to keep? To be determined. We've got a lot of talent. Brandon Rice is another guy. You got obviously Jalen Reagor, all of these other guys that they got to figure out what the heck they're going to do with them. So
I don't remember Brandon Rice being on the squad week 1. Maybe he was.
No, I don't think he was.
Man, I just don't remember.
I thought he was like on IR almost dang near like right from the get-go or something.
Yeah, he was so banged up. He could be. He could be.
Something like that,
But I just wonder, okay, so I guess that's my question. Will we have 6 or 7 this year? I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. Grimm is good too, by the way. A lot of people talk about him. I mean, his highlight reel is awesome. So, but you could tuck Brandon Rice away on the practice squad. He'll be fine. I think Jalen Reagor you put away on the practice squad. They'll be fine. I mean, depending on what they do in these preseason games. By the way, QJ is going to be out there. I think the only wide receivers that's not going to be out there is Mike Williams and Ladidi McConkey, probably the only 2 wide receivers you will not see in those preseason games at all. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, man. I can't wait to be able to see these battles, because that's the thing that's kind of nice about us having pretty much 4 games this year. We have the ability to basically look at all the players, figure out what's going on here. Now I'm seeing actually the initial 2024 53-man squad was DJ Shark, Darius Davis, Simi Fehoko, Quentin Johnson, Ladd McConkey, Josh Palmer, and Brandon Rice.
So he did get in there.
So he did get in the last slot there. And then, I mean, I think he had 1 snap all season and that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so
Pretty much.
I guess that's the other thing. And I think maybe they thought that he was going to get scooped up if you put him on the practice squad, and nobody did.
Yeah.
But remember the wide receivers. We got Jalen. Who's the other guy that we got from
Jalen Johnson?
Yeah, Jalen Johnson, FSU. No, not FSU. UCF.
Yep.
And then we got Desmond Patrick. I mean, who knows about him?
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see a lot. Desmond Patrick. I mean, he's only 2 years from Louisville. He's a big dude, 6'2".
Right.
And they seem to love Jalen Reagor, and he got a contract, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Oh, then we got Delvion Campbell from South Carolina, which he probably is an odd man out. So and Jalen Johnson, that's right. He's 6'2". He went to ECU. That's where he went. And he looked great. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So I guess that's kind of my point. I think it's going to be interesting to see who that makes 53 man and who gets the practice.
That's the whole point of training camp. Like we're going to figure out what these teams get. What kind of team are we going to look at?
100%. 100%. One of the other stories
had one memorable snap and he screwed up.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, he was banged up all last week. Yeah, he had some sort of injury. I don't know what happened with him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, let's see what he shows out this camp and see if he can make a staple for himself. So, now once again, you got the practice squad to be able to fill a lot of these gaps with a lot of these players too. And so, we'll see where it ends up going. But move along to another story that has been developing since the end of the season, essentially. Was this one right here. What is our interior O-line going to look like? What is our entire O-line going to look like at this point? Obviously, we got studs at the tackle, Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt. Then you go out and get Mekhi Becton. To be honest, and it's interesting, there's a lot of people out there that are the analysts that are saying, hey, look, you got a top 5, I even saw at best, number 2 O-line in the league, which is incredible to think about. Just because you add Mekhi Becton, you're all of a sudden going to have this monstrous line, which that right side of the line is pretty dang big now. It looks pretty dang big and is going to be beastly to deal with. Now, is it Zion Johnson at the center or is it Bradley Bozeman at center? That's the thing they're going to figure out still, too. Now, on top of all of this, we talk about holdouts with Tre Harris. Obviously, Rashawn Slater only showed up for the mandatory camp.
Yep.
The idea is that he wants an extension. Does he hold out? I don't know. So there's a lot going on with this whole O-line, which is another story to be developed once the vets report next week. So I think that's the 16th or the 15th, I think, that the vets report for 2025 camp. So a lot to talk about in the O-line here, guys. So what's your guys' thoughts on this whole situation here?
With Rashawn Slater, of course, I kind of talked a little about it on Thursday, how the basketball player, the team literally waited till his divorce was finalized before they actually gave him his massive $120 million contract extension. So that was bros uniting right there for a little bit, and I hope that's what the plan is for Rashawn Slater, is that the Spanos family is really just looking out for him and be like, okay, you're getting through this divorce. I don't know exactly when it's going to when it was started, this whole process, because I know California does have a 6-month cool off period for it to actually be solidified. So hopefully it was at this point, it would have to have been at the start of the year in January, in order for it to be completely finalized by this point. But, that lady, she's probably, holding on and trying to delay it as long as possible to kind of get that bag as well,
So Elodie said the Slater divorce is not a real thing when he commented on that. I don't remember him saying that, but could be.
I don't know. I mean, they sure.
I think what he's saying is that and once again, guys, I don't like putting anybody's personal business out there and whatever the deal is or anything like that. So this is not our space to basically speak about this and personal matters with a player or whatnot. But when you do Google it, AI does state that if they did have a divorce, it's already done and over with, and it's not involved with the contract at all. So that's what it's staying. And I think that's what money is basically saying, that like, hey, it's not an issue with the contract at this point.
Okay.
So now, once again, the past of a lot of these players getting extensions, think about when Derwin held out for his last contract, that kind of led a little bit into August. Go into Justin Herbert's signed contract kind of just before camp. Remember, then he started signing all these autographs at training camp, which was wild to see because that's just something Justin Herbert didn't do. But bottom line, I think what it is that they probably already have something in mind for Rashawn Slater. Now, does the money fit from what he's asking? Now, he's probably going to get $30 million probably on a year. He could be one of the highest paid left tackles in the league.
Yeah,
this is a big contract. It's a big contract for him. So
it'll be huge. Yep.
So we'll see what it is and where it's at and everything too. But at this point, it sounds like there's no real restrictions on his side and his personal matters.
Yeah, well, and again, it'll get worked out. You know, you talk about Tre Harris. Who you more concerned with? I'm more concerned with Rashawn Slater holding out over Tre Harris. Now, of course, he has said he's going to hold out, but my point is, at least right now, he is more important to this team than Tre Harris is right now.
Big time.
So the argument is, and again, it'll get worked out. I mean, they're probably figuring some things out, maybe guaranteed money, maybe all kinds of different things. I mean, these contracts are complicated, right? They just are.
Big
time. It'll be interesting to see what Joe Olt's contract's going to be at some point too, right? Because clearly he's going to get paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I will just say one thing about Zion Johnson. I know we've talked about this a lot. I really do think this team is committed to moving Zion Johnson to center.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, you are more balanced as an offensive line. And again, it's going to really boil down. The only issue is if you're going to be a play action team, you need to be under center a lot more. Whether that exchange from center to quarterback is going to be solid is going to be a big thing to look into. So we'll see. I think they want to get Zion there because it allows him to be a little more. He can get to the second level, hit the Mike linebacker, and just get some more penetration up the field, and that would go a long way. Bozeman's a little slower, and Zion would be able to do that a little easier than Bozeman, in my opinion. And Bozeman's big; he's like 6'4", 2 or 350 or something. He's gigantic. Yep. And then you got Mekhi Becton, who is a freaking giant. I mean, the man
massive
is insane. I mean, that guy is insane, right? So. Anyways, I'm just saying you could get, even if Zion's a decent center, that would be better than him being guard and then having Bozeman just stay as a guard. You know, I'm just saying that would be a better option for us as long as he doesn't fumble the ball and that's the concern.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I want to say Bozeman actually had one of his better seasons as a guard, in my opinion. Or I could be wrong on that with the Ravens, but it might have been the other way around. But regardless. I think the Chargers really want Zion to be the center. And that's something that Jim Harbaugh has spoke about and said, hey, probably about 8 to 10 practices into, with pads going into the training camp that he's going to make that decision. So it's right now. I mean, there's very little options. Andre James, the other guy that you really haven't spoke about too, but he could be a guy that could be playing guard too, a guy that could fill in for center too. If Bozeman and Zion aren't the guys, which at this point, you don't think that race is, he's third in the race at this point to try to be the center for this team. But it's a story to be developed, guys. That is something to keep an eye on too, that I think all Chargers fans want to see a change. So,
well, and again, and we've said this over and over again, we are a play action team. Right? We're going back to the Phil Rivers days, dude. Like Phil Rivers, all play action guys. And, we do that well. And guys, if we could, here's the thing, our running game last year was so lumpy. We had good games, and then we had really crappy games.
Yeah.
And so the problem is when you're a play action team, you can't just be one-sided. They have to respect the play action, right? If you're not going to run the ball with any efficiency, then guess what? They don't care. They're not going to bite, and the play action doesn't work. So it really limits what you can do. But with these guys, you have to respect what they do, and it's going to be. I'm just saying it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. It's going to be exciting.
The only unfortunate thing with Phillip Rivers as doing that play action thing is that they all knew he was not going to run the ball.
Yeah, that's for sure. Big time.
I think Justin Herbert in a half a season passed up how many rushing yards that Phillip Rivers had
in a career.
in his whole 16 years or whatever, it's like crazy.
I kind of want to see some more RPO stuff. I want them to mix in RPO. I really
agree.
do. Because, again, even if you line up in like 13 personnel or 22, you could just have the tight end, maybe Oronde Gadsden, or maybe the wide receiver that's wide, and just run hard to the right side. That's a running play with a wide receiver. You know, Quentin Johnston is very good when he has the ball in his hands, or Ladidi McConkey, right? Then it's basically just a running play with Ladidi McConkey or Darius Davis, right? Have him go in play action behind. I'm just saying there's a lot of interesting ways they could confuse the defense just by putting one guy in motion behind the line of scrimmage. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of ways you can play it around. So it's just my take on it. Give me a call, Chargers. I got some ideas. Okay. You know what I'm saying? we'll charge you a fee. We'll charge you a fee, right?
There you go. But just to put a bow on the O-line, once again, Harbaugh's idea is the tip of the spear is the O-line. And you know what? Once again, something's going to get sorted out with Rashawn Slater one way or another. Yeah. He's not going to let a guy like that walk away. When you look and want to have a power running game, a line that actually could protect your quarterback to allow them to do their job, you don't let a top tackle walk from a team by any means. He's going to get sorted somewhere or another. When it happens, to be determined. We'll figure that out here shortly. So
yeah, and obviously we'll do some content once it comes out as well too.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Now moving on to the other news of the week, which was a rumor for a very long period of time. So put an eye patch on Mr.
Bust out that pen. Bust out
that
pen.
You got to drop. Is it his right eye or is it left eye?
I don't know what eye it is, dude. I don't know what eye it is. But there you go. Let's see how this goes.
Hey, that was pretty good. That's pretty good.
Bad. You got to put a little thing there. There you go. So we got the situation here with Najee Harris. With the fireworks are going off, boys. And so what it sounded like, he was in the wrong place, wrong time kind of situation. And yeah, there they are. There they are.
4th of July.
There it is. And not to make fun of it or anything like that, obviously, but it's crazy to hear that, being in the wrong place, wrong time, fireworks go into the crowd from what it was told. And then Najee was there. There was a situation with his eye. He sounds like he's going to be ready for training camp. You hope everything's going to be good. Now, really, you kind of think about it. What if it ends up being that the Chargers look at it and physically they think, well, my gosh, he might have lost a good portion of his eye or of some sort. Like maybe a certain amount of vision's gone or whatnot. I mean, it's a major part and component to be a good player, right? And good thing you ended up drafting an Omarion Hampton too. Yeah. I mean, Omarion Hampton might be filling in a little bit more to the number one slot at this point. If that's going to be the case, he might actually be the week 1 starter if Najee's not going to be ready to go, or if something else happens from there. So that running back room is going to be interesting to see what's happening there. So you guys thought?
If that happens, okay, number 30, Kamani Vidal, by the way, who the coaching staff has said is looking great. And then you got Rocket Sanders right behind Kamani.
Mm-hmm.
Probably makes the squad 100%. I mean, I think those 4 we might go 4 running backs this year, guys.
I think
we
so.
might. And then you could let again, did this video when I talked about players that might get cut.
Yep. That's about Haskins.
Haskins, there we go. Yeah, I couldn't remember his last name for a second. And the thing about Haskins is good, but he's more of a special teams player. But if you could get someone like Raheem Sanders or maybe Kamani Vidal to sort of, I mean, Raheem's a big dude. He's a freaking big guy. Yeah. So, and again, he can pound the rock, right? Yeah. I like the idea of us running 2 running backs. I mean, think about that. You got Raheem Sanders and you got maybe Omarion Hampton or Najee Harris in the backfield. Raheem could be the fullback with Matlock out there. That is road grading, tenderize that meat, guys. I mean, you're just going to pound the rock, So I'm just saying it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but Haskins might be gone. I think he's one of the bubble players that might not be here just because the upside isn't there with him. He's okay special teams, but I think special teams is going to be worked out with some of the other players we have. So I don't know. It's just on my take.
100%. Yeah, I mean, that running back room is going to be interesting. And, I mean, honestly, once again, I hope everything's going to be good with Najee Harris so we don't have some weird issue going into camp with this situation. But, at the same side, there's a lot of competition behind him. I mean, interesting looking at Raheem Sanders is just understanding his college career. I mean, he ran for 1,440 yards, 10 touchdowns in 2022 with Arkansas. The guy had 6.5 yards average per carry. He averages 5.4 in his college career per carry. I mean, this guy was a running back that could have easily been drafted that we ended up getting as an undrafted guy. So there's always somebody in the door trying to get your job, basically. They're knocking on the door trying to get in there. And you know what? It's going to be an interesting battle in the running back room all around. So I'm looking forward to basically see how this plays out all around. But once again, I hope everything's good with Najee Harris all around.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think Najee will be fine. I mean, I would say this, if it was worse, then we would probably know more about it, right? I mean, he gets hit in the eye with a firework. That sucks. But, you know, I'm sure he's okay. But it would be bad if it was even worse, right? He doesn't have vision out of his right eye. I mean, that ain't good. You know,
that ain't good.
Right.
That ain't good. So,
I mean, everyone said all the reports just said it was a superficial thing, though. You know, so it's probably it didn't actually get his eye or puncture his eye itself. It's probably got around it. You know, so that's all I know. So, I mean, when I hear a superficial injury, I hear okay, he just got a burn around his eye or something like that. You know, it didn't hit his actual eye, and then missing an eye or something like that. You know, that would be terrible. But I shared this story. I shared this story though, on Thursday as well. Apparently, so my wife, she actually was talking about how, in Russia there were some people that were doing some fireworks stuff, and they had Roman candles. They were shooting at each other and stuff, and some girl got hit in the ear with it, and it went into the ear canal, the little the rock thing or whatever it was, and that killed her because it went, and it went all the way through her brain or whatever like that. So it was dang. So it's that was a 1 in a million type of thing. It's I've never seen or heard of that, something like that happening,
Hey, guys got to be safe with them fireworks there, man. Got to be safe with them fireworks. And LOD, man, got in some pickleball this morning, so the blood is pumping.
Hey,
let's go. Let's go, dude. Great times, man. Hopefully we can play pickleball sometime together, dude. That'd be a great time.
Make sure you bring your paddles out for then maybe you can hook up and play.
That'd be dope. I would love it.
Bolt Bros not had dominate. We dominate fools. Make them cry.
We good.
They can't hang with us. They can't hang with us. That's right.
But moving on from the running back room, a lot to basically take in there. It's great to see that we at least have 4 preseason games going to see who's going to be who and who's going to be what and all that. So I'm excited to see that happen. But moving on to the next one. This one, to me, I'm putting Justin Herbert a little bit out there. And I guess I'm just kind of putting on what is the expectations for him this year. Obviously he had a really good year throughout the season, and then it just all faltered in the playoffs. And I mean, we've had a couple playoff games with him where it seems like things are going to go in the right direction, and then it falters in some way or another, if it's the offense or the defense making the issues. To me, story going into this camp, my opinion is we just need to basically see Justin Herbert be that guy when we need him to show up late in the season in the playoffs. We need to see a playoff win, basically, is what we're seeing.
100%.
And maybe that's just me putting a little pressure on him and everything too. But this is a high expectation type team now, especially with Jim Harbaugh. He's got to go out there and get a win in the playoffs, try to get a deep run going into the divisional to championship. Hey, let's get a Super Bowl. This is expectations here, and it rides a lot on Justin Herbert. And go back to the draft. I mean, they brought in KLS, Tre Harris. You got Omarion Hampton.
Yep.
You got Gadsden now too. He's got weapons throughout that, and then all these acquisitions that they got on top of that, with obviously with their O-line and basically getting Mekhi Becton and everything too.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of additions that have been given to Justin Herbert to be his best version of him. I'm expecting a huge year for him this year because of the amount of weapons, the build of the O-line, everything that's around him. He should have a phenomenal season. There's no excuses for him not to have a good season, in my opinion. So
yeah, the pressure's on him for sure. But it goes back to the whole play action conversation too, right? If we could get that, I'll say this: if our running game is a top 5 running team in the NFL, we are going to dominate because our defense is going to be where it needs to be.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Our defense will be fine, and you could even say top 10 defense. That's great, but if we could get our running game top 5, Herbert could sling the rock, because then guess what? They've got to bite on that play action. They're like, crap, and then guess who's going to go deep? Mike Williams, Tre Harris, right? it'll be interesting to see what happens with QJ. QJ might just be more slot, but then you got Ladidi McConkey, who is just fast as all get out. Darius Davis, you know what I mean? So, I'm just saying this, I think it's all going to really boil down to Justin Herbert getting a good running game going. If that happens, sky's the limit for this team. So that's it. I mean, we all know he can make the throws. But if you could just tenderize that meat, just beat the hell out of that team. Oh man, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to take. And that's what we didn't have last year because it was up and down. It was all over the map. By the way, interesting. I read an article, completely side note, that J.K. Dobbins, they're saying he might actually be trade bait for another team, which I thought was hilarious.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And I was like,
so they picked him up just to trade him?
Well, think of it this way, right? If you gave him $5.5 million, but what if a team gets their running back banged up, their running back one gets jacked up, he's gone for half the season. You could probably go get him and say, all right, he's probably good for 5 games. You could grab him and maybe pay him a little more money. Maybe the Broncos get a draft pick out of it, and could be the case, right? So I don't know.
I mean, that would be really
make it happen.
Probably contingent if RJ Harvey ends up being really that guy and taking really control of that job. I mean, I don't know if he would be. Object Estime is there, and Jaleel McLaughlin played pretty good for him too. But that'd be interesting. You never know.
And the article basically said that they have a lot of good running backs already. So the argument, it's the same with the Chargers, right? There's just not much room for anybody else. So the argument is okay, well, what do we do now? I mean, heck, we could even trade Haskins away to somebody. I mean, maybe someone says oh, we need a special teams player and a running back. That'd be great.
Yep.
Trade him away for a 7th round pick. I mean, who knows? So
who knows? But once again, with Justin Herbert, there's a lot of expectations on him too. Big thing too this year, much harder schedule to basically work with too. We got to beat the good teams, and that's a big part of what we need to see from Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and by the way, Eggnog Surfboard talks about this too. We need a center. It's interesting how you're not seeing centers come out of the draft much anymore, right? Last year, that guy did Majors even get drafted? I don't think. I think he's an undrafted free agent.
I don't think Jake Majors did.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be the number 1 center that just didn't get. So it's weird because no teams are picking centers out of the draft.
They're
converting them to
undrafted. Center.
Yes, you're getting a guard and you're converting them to a center later on, right? And so that's the argument, right? So I think again it goes back to why I think they really want Zion Johnson to work out. Is if you're a guard, if you can make both of those positions work, you're a lot more valuable. Again, Bradley Bozeman's another good example because he plays center and guard as well too. Zion, if he plays center, will have that on his resume and he'll go from there. I mean, our offensive line, I'm very happy with. And a lot of people are even talking about Bronson Taylor, our 5th or 6th round pick.
Yep.
A lot of people think he could be really good. He's in the mix. Again, I don't think he's going to start this year, but a lot of people thought that he could be a 1st round pick, but he had injuries. So that's why he kept slipping the way he did. So, anyways, there's a lot you can be said about that. But so everyone keeps talking about these centers, and I'm like, well, nobody picked a center in the draft last year at all, right? Yeah. So, I mean, there had to be some good centers out there, and I have no idea why they weren't picked. So, it is interesting to think about.
Big time. But we'll see what happens there too. But once again, a lot of pressure on to Justin Herbert this season too, to basically perform more and more. Now, I know we've talked a lot about offense. There's a lot of questions going into with this offense, a lot of additions to this offense, a lot of crazy things have happened with this, but the defense has been relatively quiet in a lot of which ways. I think because we have high expectations with Jesse Minter and his group, he's going to elevate players all around. But I know one thing that a lot of people have been talking about position-wise is the edge group. Obviously, it starts with Khalil Mack and him signing back with the team for 1 year, fully guaranteed $18 million contract, I believe it was. A lot of money given to this guy. And love him with that visor, by the way, too. He looks great. It's kind of giving me shades of like LT years, but
there you go.
Everything. But there's a lot to be said about the edge group. Obviously, no more Joey Bosa. Obviously he was kind of only halfway out there most of the time when he played anyways throughout the entire season. But you got Khalil Mack being the general out there. You obviously ended up having Tuli Tuipulotu too as an edge guy for you too. You end up signing an extension with Bud Dupree, and then you go out and draft Kyle Kennard. And that's kind of the room at this point. Like,
yeah,
those are the four guys. And, they kind of talked a lot about Kyle Kennard being hey, I think they even said to him, hey, you got to get used to his special teams, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're kind of not really getting him ready to be that edge guy, but a lot of people feeling like that's a big gap on the defense. So,
yeah.
Want to hear your guys' thoughts. Kyle, if you want to start it out, just talking about the edge group, what's your thoughts about the edge group here?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of posed that question on Thursday a little bit about, how Tuli Tuipulotu is going to do, because he was the sacks leader last year with like half the amount of snaps that Joey Bosa had. And so we're trying to get some predictions out there, I think that he's definitely going to get double digits this year if he's going to get, full snap counts.
Yep.
And, being out there like alongside, Khalil Mack and stuff. So, but I think, like I was saying, we get some T's in the chat. Thanks guys. Yes, that's right. That's what's up. But Kyle Kennard, he could actually step up in a big way. Cause look, I'll be honest. I've seen kind of Buddy Dupree. I'm happy that we re-signed him, but there are some clear times that he like basically had the quarterback or like, running back, whatever, dead to rights, but he just like totally just whiffed it. And it was like, oh my gosh. So that's why it kind of bothers me that they said, oh, Kyle, you need to work on being a special teams person, I think. But that's just also probably because of the seniority Buddy Dupree has over him or whatever. But I mean, I want to see what Kyle Kennard can do over Buddy Dupree. That's for sure. That's kind of where I'm landing.
Yeah, I mean, just out of the gate, he's got to take Tuli's spot on special teams. So that's kind of the whole point.
Yes.
It's interesting. I watched a couple of it wasn't PFF. I can't remember what podcast I was watching. They were ripping on Kyle Kennard. They're like, dude, how the hell did he get drafted this high and all this and that? It was really funny. I didn't quite understand as to why. I guess the argument they came up with was that, well, they had a really good defensive line and he had a lot of free shots on the quarterback. That's what got him his sacks. And I was like, okay. Well, he still got sacks. Okay. But
sacks are sacks, man.
Yeah. But the argument was weird to me because it made me think like, okay, he's still got the quarterback on the ground. Secondarily, it's like anything else. And Tuli did this all the time for Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack he would attack a double team. So Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack would have an opportunity to get the sack as well too. So if the argument is that the other defensive linemen were doing the dirty work in the trenches and then he just got the sack, well, that's pretty much the NFL anyways, right? So so I don't see where that's an interesting issue. I will say this, Matt Money Smith said he's a lot bigger than a lot of people thought he looked like. I mean, I guess they said he came in at 245. They were saying he's more like 260 to 270, which is huge.
That's big.
And,
that's a great replacement for Joey Big Bear because he was like 280, something like that, right?
Yeah, he was 280. Yeah, he was 280 and always hurt. And again, Grover's Playhouse says he's an SEC Player of the Year.
SEC Player of the Year.
That's the part that I was a little confused by. I just didn't understand. And again, it was probably 3 months ago when I watched this podcast. So
I think that podcast, they were just salty. They wanted
they may have been haters, but I guess they had him like a lot later in the draft for whatever reason. And again, guys, it's splitting hair sometimes. It's like, oh, he's a little light. He's a little this. He's a little that. Where I think Tuli is a good starter is he's very good at setting the edge, stopping the run, and getting to the quarterback, right? And that's where maybe you can make the argument is maybe – Kyle Kennard's a little smaller, so setting the edge might be a little harder in the NFL. I mean, you got to remember, he's going to get tackles that are like 350, right? Yep. These are big freaking dudes that can maul you. So if you're 225, or it's not 225, 250, that's 100 pounds less against a guy that could be on the edge as a tackle. So that's where the argument comes into play. But like, I mean, you're kind of splitting hairs. These young men are still growing. We'll see. Kyle Kennard will be very important that he'll be good because we don't know how Khalil Mack's going to hold up this season.
Right.
Same with Tuli. You guys never know how it plays out. So anyways, it'd be interesting to see how it goes.
That's the thing. A lot of people have been talking about going after some free agent,
Yep.
Edge guys, and trying to add some sort of more veteran side of things too. I mean, there's even some talks that TJ Watt, trade type situation, which would be wild to be able to see something like that happen. But, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, they might put a little bit more pressure on Kyle Kennard as the season progresses. Think about how it happened with Ladd McConkey. It took about 6 games for him really to get rolling. And then once he got rolling, he was just all cylinders at that point. So who knows? I mean, Kyle Kennard might be that guy that just turns it on later on. That's the thing that you got to love about preseason games and camp. You could kind of see what you could get from this guy. I am going to give all confidence to Jesse Minter that he's going to get things right one way or another. So I'm not super concerned about it, but camp will tell you a lot of things, guys. And if there is going to be a need that they feel like a little bit more red alert, they'll go end up signing somebody off of, free agent of some sort. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And the argument is in the NFL, it's also about matchups, right? I mean, really is man versus man. That's why they do those drills where they hit each other and who gets the best of who or whatever. My point is, if you have a guy that doesn't set the edge well, guess what? They're going to run the ball to that side because he doesn't set the edge well, right? So it's the same thing. It's like it's RPOs, and you're going to RPO to that side, right? So you're going to attack their weakness. That's what Bill Belichick was very good at all the time. And so I'm just saying you cannot be just one thing. I mean, another good example is the rump shaker, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't good at almost anything, but and I'm not ripping on the guy, but he was small. He was a smaller guy, and he just never developed. He never got bigger.
He never got to the weight that he needed to be at.
And he couldn't set the edge, right? So again, that's where the conversation comes into play. But the good news is for Kyle Kennard, he has all the time in the world to prove that he can do it, and that's what these preseason games are all about, right? So we got 4 games to see him, so it'll be exciting.
And just to throw out some of the free agent edge guys right now, Jadeveon Clowney, Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, Matt Judon, and Von Miller. So those would be kind of the top 6 guys that you could potentially go after. Now, once again, those are all aging guys, 32. You're adding more age to the edge room. So who knows where it goes with the edge group. So I'm interested to see where it leads with those guys. But once again, I give a lot of confidence to Jesse Minter all around. So
100%. Well, and again, to your point, this is great. Rump was good to stand there and get run over. Again, that's just the whole point, right? He couldn't hold his ground, and that's what Juli's good at as well too. So, anyways, but So we'll see. I mean, Kyle Kennard, I'm definitely not saying he's a rump shaker for sure, but I think a lot of people thought he would be drafted later, which I don't know. It's weird. There's always this conversation of when people should be drafted. Everyone has a different opinion, but I also trust in this coaching staff. Clearly, they saw a lot with him, and they seem very happy with him. So I'm excited to see how it plays out. And another guy we need to talk about too is Jamari, our defensive line. Why am I drawing blank on Sam?
It's Jamari Caldwell.
Oh, there we go.
I already had him ready to roll.
Hey, let's take a like.
So the big thing about the D-line, interior D-line, that has been a concern for me because, I mean, once again, you've had a guy that have left there, Poona Ford, which kind of did a great job with us. I'm saying once again, because we kind of needed to find another guy that could fill in that Poona Ford role, and we kind of put a lot of heat. I'm putting a lot of heat and pressure on one of our rookies, which is Jamari Caldwell. He needs to be that guy that could fill in the gap for those first, second down type situations, short yardage based situations. He needs to be that gap filler for us. When we end up going out and re-signing Tier Tart, Deshaun Hand, not saying these are household names by any means. You kind of are like, well, okay, we hope that we can get the same out of these guys, same type of production of Poona Ford. We're just going to mix in a lot of players there. You would hope that Justin Aboigbe could be another one of those guys that could step up this year, which there's a lot of talks about him building a lot of more muscle on his body. He's becoming a lot bigger as a player. It was kind of his first year was more or less just as like a redshirt freshman type situation. And then obviously Scott Matlock is another dude that you could kind of get involved in there too. Tito Bonia and Naquan Jones, so on and so forth. So this interior D-line is going to be one to keep an eye on. Obviously the off-season training camp type of things, no pads. You can't really see too much out of them other than hitting basically, targets and hitting bags and all these different things. But when the pads get on, that's where a lot of knowledge about what the heck this interior D line is going to be. So once again, giving a lot of faith to Jesse Minter. He's going to be that guy that's going to make sure that he's get the best out of these players all around.
So Eddie, we'll talk more about that as well too, as far as Trey Lance is concerned. I'll say this: remember, in this defense, the defensive lineman is to eat up double teams. That's what they want to do.
Yep.
You're not going to get sacks out of those guys very often, right? They are going to hit the A gap and block the guard in the center and allow your edge rushers to fill the gap, right? And again, you can talk all day about Kyle Kennard, being that guy or whatever, right? And that's the whole point. These two guys right here are supposed to do nothing but take two people off the board on that line, blow up the A gap or C gap, and then the edge rusher should get a one-on-one battle. He should win. So that's their job. It's block destruction. And again, these guys are big. Deshaun Hand and what's the other guy's name? I always forget his name. No, it's not Ladarius.
Tre Tart.
Tre Tart, yes, but there's the other guy that we picked up in the offseason.
Naquan Jones.
Oh, Naquan Jones. Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then this guy, and then a Boygbe, and then we got Matlock too, right? So I mean, these are big dudes, right? So I'm just saying, the difference with him and Tre Tart, they are true nose tackles. Like they're gonna be right on the nose, and they're just going to try to beat the hell out of the center. Hit him right in the baby maker. Boom! Just get a good shot right up there. And so they're going to get nasty, right? And so we'll see how he plays, and that's what he did at Oregon. Exactly. So he made that other guy. I always forget his name. The guy that was drafted by the Steelers. Yep. His teammate looked like a stud. Absolute stud. If he can do the same thing with the Chargers, then we will be fine, because that's exactly what they want him to be.
Yep.
So
go back to the idea of talking about what, the knocks on Kyle Kennard was that, the D-line was good. That allowed him to basically run free. Well, you get a Jamari Caldwell that could be destroying the line, allowing these free rushers. It could be an absolute game changer for our edge guys. So, and I'm going to say our linebackers are going to probably blitz a little bit more too, in my opinion, too. So I think we have a very well built out back end of our defense. It's just about the front end of the defense, in my opinion.
And you got DJ playing big nickel. He'll blitz.
Exactly. Yep.
So see, that's one other thing. I knew I had a good thought. I had a profound thought, and I forgot it. Okay, so it came back in my mind. Yeah, okay, there you go. Thank you, Larry Harmon. I always forget that guy's name.
Derek Harmon. Yeah.
Derek Harmon. Yes, but here's the thing: the other person that is never ever talked about on this team for edge rushing is Derwin James. Derwin James, when he gets to the line, he gets to the quarterback. He gets a pressure 30% of the time on average.
Yeah.
So my point is, if you have a good safety and then you put Derwin James down there, you can get away with not having amazing edge rushers, and then you can use Derwin James, bring him down in the box, and they're going to fight off a double team. This guy's going to hit two people, and he's going to have one gap free, and Derwin James is going to put that guy on the ground. So I'm just saying, you can get creative in getting to the quarterback without having amazing edge rushers as well too. Right. So anyways, it's another way of looking at it as well too. So
into Dweller's Playhouse.
He did have 5.5 sacks last year too.
Yeah. And I think that was the most amount of sacks like a safety's had in like 20 years or something. There was some crazy stat about that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Speaking of which, he's going to be getting a new contract here pretty soon too, right? So I think is this his last year, or
I think it's his last year under contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he should get another contract soon enough too. I mean, we have plenty of money to spend next year too. I don't even see it as a concern. I think the coaching staff loves Derwin James, and he's an absolute professional when you meet the guy too. So
that would make me so mad and sad if they let him walk. I mean, realistically and historically, they've not kept players all the way for their entire career, So I don't know. That's a big shaky, big if for me.
Big time. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's a leader, and he's definitely a guy well liked, so he's going to stick around.
Yeah, he won't go anywhere.
Bold lightning. That's an interesting idea. Is Elohim Gilman about to get traded? At Kyle is basically what he's asking.
He's asking me.
He Gilman's going to get traded.
I don't think so. I mean, he's got this is a contract year for him. This is his final year for a contract as well. So I don't think they're going to let him trade him off. Like, he did show up and do pretty well the year before, but last year obviously he had some injury concerns and stuff like that, but like I can't see him getting traded off just yet. I mean, we have some unknowables with some of the other safeties that we picked up in the draft and stuff. So I don't think so. But will we sign him next year? That's possibly not, I would say.
Yeah, but I guess the argument though is you could trade him away now and get something for him, right?
Right.
Now it kind of like, we'll see. I think it'll boil down to whether RJ Mickens is really the guy we think he could be, and then also Chikrezi Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, Dean Leonard's look good. Guys, this team has got a lot of depth on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, ain't nothing to sneeze at over on that side of the ball. I mean, those guys they just got better. And so, anyways, so we'll see. I think that's a good question. I hadn't thought about that. But yeah, he might be on the trading block. I think it's kind of funny. I didn't expect us to trade for anybody last season like we did. It made sense to get Taylor Heineke, and I did not expect us to go get a safety, but Elijah Molden's looked absolutely amazing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had maybe one or two trades before the season that kind of shock everybody. I don't think there'll be huge splashes, but there'll be depth pickups. So that's my take on it.
Who was it in the chat? I don't remember who it was. It said, I think it might have been LOD. You could go after Trey Hendrickson, which is still a situation with the edge rushers right now. And the guy has basically got 17 sacks last 2 seasons each.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is like that idea they could do some crazy splash situation, but I don't know if they do make a bold move. I feel like bold moves create Super Bowls and you get the best opportunity to go deep in the playoffs. So who knows where it's going to go from that point, but there's a lot of storylines going into training camp, boys, and I can't wait to see it all work its way out. I mean, it's an exciting 2025 year, so I guess I'm just kind of giving my last little bit here because I know we're hour 16 into this one.
Oh, boy, we're just flapping our gums. So, Ryan, I'll leave my thoughts here. I'll get my final thoughts to Ryan.
I thought I was about to leave my thoughts, and then you jumped on in, dude.
Oh, sorry, dude. All right, go ahead, big dog. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, man, we're just jumping over each other.
Yeah, man, what's going on here?
Hey, so what I say is more relevant anyways. We all know.
Goodness
we all
gracious.
know.
Yeah, everybody puts it on mute when you're talking, bro.
Oh, that ain't true. That ain't true.
all I hear when you talk is this.
Oops.
Wow. Okay, here we go.
We go back to skid mark talk here, dude.
Childish behavior all of a sudden, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Here it comes. All right, here we go.
Oh, that's great. Well, last thoughts here. I mean, I'm excited to be able to see how all of these, position battles, players, how they play out, contract situations get, sorted out. I mean, I think this is kind of the first time that we're going to see with our Joe Ortiz where he's going to kind of have a contract situation with 2 players now, Rashawn Slater and also Tre Harris. So I'm pretty confident that we're not going to do a Tom Telesco type thing and let this draw out too long. I think we're going to be pretty quick about getting something sorted on this. So we want to have the best players, best situation, best opportunity for this team to work out. So I'm sure that this is going to be all worked out in a very short amount of time. So, training camp's here, guys. 2025 season's here. Let's get it. I can't wait. Wait.
And I like what Ryan says. I wish Mitchell would use Derwin James Talent better instead of using him to fill holes. I think he's using him a lot better than, of course, BS did. Brandon Staley tried to use him like Jesse Minter did, but clearly Brandon Staley didn't know what's going on. I read this article about Brandon Staley, how even the defense on the Niners didn't understand what the hell he was talking about. They're like, what in the hell is this guy saying?
Yeah.
Clearly he does a horrible job of talking over people and not letting them understand his way of thinking. Where Jesse Minter is better is he's really good at keeping it very simple. You think about the players that came in. Who was that guy that May from the Dolphins? He came in, got a pick his first game, then got hurt. Who knows where he's at now? But my point is, people can go to this defense and have it figured out immediately, and they can step in day one, moment one. So keep it simple, stupid, especially on the defense, makes a lot of sense. We ran a lot of quarters. That's pretty much all we ran all last season. We were the biggest zone team in defense. But my point is, Ryan, I'll say this. Derwin James is going to be all over the field just like he was last year. I think he'll blitz more this year because I do think our edge room is going to be a little bit less awesome than we were. Of course, last year we weren't that great because Joey Bosa, a.k.a. Raisin Bran, was hurt the entire time anyways. So, I think we might see a little more blitzing, a little more talent. He'll probably be used a little bit differently this year. Second year in the defense, I think it's going to be interesting for him. But, man, I expect another good year for DJ for sure. And thank God he's playing to his ability. Brandon Staley he just screwed the talent up so bad. So I'm just glad he's gone. So, anyways, I'm excited to see.
Yeah. Well, these holdouts, I think they're gonna end pretty fast. I pray and I believe, because I believe that Slater's gonna get his deal squared away, and I think Tre Harris is gonna get his deal squared away. But it's definitely coming around the corner. I'm not too worried about it, but as Miguel kept asking, it's like I think we should have reason to worry about it by the end of next week, not this upcoming week, but it's like that's when we should really be starting to get concernicus about this whole stuff.
Concernicus.
That's right. That's right.
Is it Roman times?
That's right. That's right.
That's your Roman name. My name is Concernicus.
Yeah, right. But man, I really just that's all I really got to say, except that the sky is blue and the sun is gold because the man upstairs is a Bolts fan too. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
I like it. All right, guys.
We'll keep you guys posted with everything that happens, man. So love it. 2025 season is here, boys. Let's get it.
Okay.
Bros.
Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charge